Coming up, we build a landscape photography composite of the mighty Pikes Peak during fall colors. This project has been 6 months in the making, and it all comes down to a surprise ending that you don't want to miss. Greetings, friends, and welcome to yet another spectacular fall color season here in beautiful Colorado Springs. Now, in our ongoing effort to stay relevant against the artificial intelligence, every once in a while we human photographers actually have to go out and create a little bit of artwork of our own. And it just so happens that I have something very special planned for you today. So, let us begin. A few years back, I shot this image here in beautiful Colorado Springs. It showcases Pikes Peak, America's mountain, surrounded by a breaking winter storm amongst a golden forest of epic fall colors. Now, since the time this image was captured, the city has built this, and this. Trees come down, buildings go up. Hooray for progress. And so, sadly, this scene no longer exists. On the one hand, this image is now one of a kind, never to be repeated. But on the other hand, I will never get to go back and experience this magical place. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I would much rather see 1,000 other photographers poach this picture than see the real location disappear forever. So, I got to thinking, maybe this place doesn't have to disappear after all. Sure, it may no longer exist in reality, but with a little bit of imagination, we might be able to bring it back to life in spirit. And so our newest composite project is born. The city may have knocked down a few trees, but they haven't cut down everything. All we need to do is find another little grove of cottonwoods, and we might just be able to pull this off. After all, composite work is all about collecting the right ingredients at the right time. And with fall colors appearing all across Colorado, we should be able to find ourselves just what we need. The city is home to a great variety of parks and open spaces. So we keep our eyes peeled, wait for just the right amount of yellow, and as the colors are popping, we fire up a fresh batch of golden leaves to serve as the baseline for our new project. And now that our row of trees has shaped up rather nicely, we have just one small, insignificant little challenge. There is no snow to be found, not even a single flake. Fall colors are in full swing and you could practically get a sunburn outside, which means the seasons don't always line up the way you would like them to. This is just another one of Mother Nature's cruel games of weather roulette. And landscape photographers have been taking a beating at the climate casino since the very beginning of cameras. Sure, we hope to see snow-capped mountains surrounded by endless golden forest, but is that what we get? No, of course not. You didn't think the universe was going to make this easy for us, did you? This is Colorado, home to summer in the winter and winter in the summer. Our weather changes at the toss of the cosmic dice, and we don't always come out smelling like roses. Unless okay, when we travel to the center of the Rocky Mountains, reality exists on a completely different dimension. Overnight snowstorms can instantaneously change the entire landscape. And while this phenomenon has been known to bring total elation to a handful of lucky landscape photographers, this spectacular barrage of powdery white snow is not what we see in Colorado Springs. In fact, while all of this snow was dumping in Aspen, the Springs still managed to remain quite tropical. And with not a flake of snow sitting atop our mighty Pikes Peak, our composite project takes yet another unexpected turn and promptly falls into a long, dark sleep. Greetings friends and welcome back. We are on location to capture the final ingredient to our composite image. Now, as you can see, many things have changed. It has actually been several months since we last captured our fall colors images. Sometimes winter just takes a little extra time to show up, but that's okay because this illustrates a very important part of the lesson. You cannot always capture all of your images in one single day. Sometimes these composite projects takes months or even years to complete. But that's okay because landscape photography is all about patience, but you already knew that. Okay, so today's mission is to capture epic storm clouds breaking off of a snowy Pikes Peak. This is the holy grail of landscape photography. Okay, so as you may have noticed, we actually have the entire city of Colorado Springs in between us and Pikes Peak. The mountain is actually many miles away. So in order to get past all of that stuff, the streets, the cars, the buildings, the stuff that we don't need, we're gonna have to use a telephoto lens to extend beyond the city and isolate the mountain exactly as we want it. And this is why I always carry my trusty 70 to 300 millimeter with me, because you never know when you're gonna have to extend the range of your composition. So landscape photography is not always about only wide angle lenses. Keep that in mind, especially when it comes to composite work. The telephoto can often be your best friend. And unfortunately, these conditions tend to be a little bit rare. I've actually been out here for several days shooting this mountain scene in order to get the perfect combination of clouds, snow, and partially blue skies. And it doesn't always happen all at once. So what we're gonna have to do is create a composite within a composite. I'm gonna combine several different days of mountain photography to get the perfect breaking storm. And then we're gonna take that composite and place it into our fall colors composite. So we've actually added an extra layer of complexity to this entire thing, but that's okay because any image that's worth doing right is gonna take a little bit of extra effort. Now it's a little bit foggy right now, but in just a minute we should be able to wait for these clouds to break off and we'll take a look at our scene. And at long last, we now have the final ingredient to the recipe. Epic clouds breaking off of a snowy mountain are a very nice consolation prize for the 3-month snooze fest which put the brakes on our composite. All we have left to do is put the whole thing together. And now, after miles of searching for the perfect trees, many freezing winter days beneath the mountain, and much anticipation, it's a steaming pile of crap. The composite is a complete bust. It's stupid, cameras are stupid, photography is stupid. This is the ripest load of dumpster flames that have ever been lit on fire. And just like that, we go from pure enthusiasm to absolute failure in just under 3 seconds. Just look at that dimwit, blissfully full of ignorance. If only someone could have gone back in time and smacked him in the head. All right, let's get a look at this thing. Best I can tell, here's the problem. The original grove of trees was mature and tall, with a thick canopy of healthy leaves. They created the ultimate foreground element with their impenetrable fortress of gold. And now, on to the composite. The new grove of trees are young and thin. Their patchy, anemic canopy never stood a chance at matching up to the old guard. And no matter how many Photoshop tricks we throw at this, we can still see right through the charade. Any way you slice it, the whole thing just looks fake. When you spend this much time and effort on an image, it should pretty much be flawless. You should be able to print this thing 7 feet wide and hang it in a gallery and have people come right up close, and it should look perfectly convincing in every single detail. And sadly, with our composite, that is simply not the case. And here I've just prattled on about going the extra mile, and it takes months to create a perfect image, and a great image deserves all the extra time that you can ever put into it. And then it all culminates to this anticlimactic load of garbage. I think in the end, I just got caught up trying to force the idea. I mean, this place was really special to me and I wanted to bring it back, and when that failed, it kind of hurt a little bit. But I guess some places are just gone. It's really easy to become infatuated with a creative project, and sometimes things just don't work out. But there are actually still some really good lessons to be learned here. Number one, I did spend a lot of time hiking around searching for trees, hiking around shooting mountains with telephoto lenses, waiting on clouds, waiting on snow, and for all of that, I'm actually very grateful. Anytime that you get to go out with all your favorite camera gear is something that's really special. Even if you don't capture an amazing image, the experience itself is well worth the effort. So there's no time lost there. All right, the second major takeaway that we can learn from this is that there is absolutely no substitute for the real thing. No matter how much credit we might give ourselves, we simply cannot create something as beautiful as Mother Nature. And I personally find a lot of solace in that. I think that's well worth saying. Especially as we approach the era where artificial intelligence is getting ready to take over the entire visual media industry, I like to think that Mother Nature still remains king and that the real world will always mean more than the artificial, no matter what. All right, friends, there you have it. Fail fast, fail hard. What's another craptastic picture? It's all okay. I guarantee that for every great image you have in your photography portfolio, there are at least 100, if not 1,000 total stinkers. You cannot bring back the dead. But when something is dead, that is the only way that it can ever become legendary. Sometimes when you swing for the fences, you knock your latest creative project right out of the park and make something that you are really proud of. Other times, it's 3 strikes and you're out. Game over, thanks for playing. In any regard, at least you're out there on the field. And when it comes to landscape photography, win or lose, being out on the field is sometimes all you really need. All right, friends, as always, thank you so much for joining us. Now, if you had fun on our little Fall Colors adventure, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We got a lot of cool new stuff coming up, and I don't want you to miss out. That's gonna do it for this time. We'll see you in the next lesson. Legendary. Well, thank you very much.